It is generally not permissible to run low voltage, such as 24 volts, and pneumatic systems in the same conduit due to several critical factors related to safety and potential interference. Electrical codes and regulations, such as the National Electrical Code, or NEC, provide specific guidelines to ensure the safe installation and operation of electrical systems. These guidelines often prohibit the mixing of different types of systems within the same raceway to prevent hazards. One primary concern is the potential for physical damage to the low-voltage wiring. Pneumatic systems involve the movement of air or gas under pressure, and the associated components such as tubing and fittings can create vibrations or friction within the conduit. This can lead to abrasion or other damage to the insulation of the low-voltage conductors. Compromised insulation increases the risk of short circuits, ground faults, and electrical fires. Secondly, the presence of pneumatic systems in the same conduit can introduce the risk of moisture or contaminants entering the electrical system. Pneumatic systems often deal with compressed air, which can contain moisture. If this moisture enters the conduit, it can corrode the electrical conductors and connection points, leading to system failure. Additionally, contaminants present in the pneumatic system, such as oil or dust, can accumulate on the electrical components, reducing their performance and lifespan. Thirdly, electrical interference can be a significant issue when mixing low voltage and pneumatic systems in the same conduit. Electrical noise or electromagnetic interference, or EMI, generated by the pneumatic system's control components, such as solenoids or motors, can disrupt the operation of the low voltage circuits. This is particularly problematic for sensitive electronic devices or control systems that rely on clean and stable power. Furthermore, the NEC and other electrical codes emphasize the importance of maintaining separation between power and control circuits to minimize the risk of induced voltages. When low voltage and pneumatic systems are run in close proximity within the same conduit, there is an increased likelihood of voltage induction, which can cause erratic behavior or damage to the low voltage equipment. Moreover, the NEC addresses specific requirements for the type and installation of conductors based on their voltage and application. Typically, low voltage conductors used for control or signaling circuits have different insulation requirements compared to conductors used for power circuits. Mixing these different types of conductors in the same conduit can create confusion and increase the risk of improper installation or maintenance. From a practical standpoint, separating low voltage and pneumatic systems into separate conduits simplifies troubleshooting and maintenance. When problems arise, it is easier to isolate the source of the issue without having to navigate through a complex network of mixed wiring. This also reduces the risk of accidental damage to one system while working on the other. It is essential to consult the latest edition of the NEC and any applicable local codes or regulations to determine the specific requirements for your installation. Electrical inspectors have the authority to enforce these codes and can provide guidance on acceptable wiring practices. In addition to the NEC, other industry standards and best practices may provide further guidance on the separation of low voltage and pneumatic systems. These resources can help ensure that your installation meets the highest standards of safety and performance. Firstly, always verify local codes. Local electrical codes often have stricter requirements than the NEC, and it is critical to comply with these local regulations. Secondly, use separate conduits. Running low voltage and pneumatic systems in separate conduits eliminates the risk of physical damage, electrical interference, and contamination. Thirdly, consider using cable trays. In some applications, cable trays may be a suitable alternative to conduits for running low voltage wiring, providing better organization and accessibility. Fourthly, ensure proper grounding. Proper grounding is essential for minimizing the risk of electrical shock and ensuring the proper operation of electrical equipment. Fifthly, use shielded cables. Shielded cables can help reduce the effects of electrical interference on low voltage circuits. Sixthly, maintain adequate separation. When running low voltage wiring near pneumatic systems, maintain adequate physical separation to minimize the risk of induced voltages. Seventhly, label all wiring clearly. Clear labeling makes it easier to identify and troubleshoot wiring, reducing the risk of errors during maintenance. Eighthly, document your installation. Keep detailed records of your electrical installation, including wiring diagrams and specifications. Ninthly, inspect regularly. Regularly inspect your electrical installation for signs of damage or wear and address any issues promptly. Tenthly, consult with a qualified electrician. If you are unsure about any aspect of your electrical installation, consult with a qualified electrician for guidance. In summary, while it may seem convenient to run low voltage and pneumatic systems in the same conduit, it is generally not permitted due to safety concerns, potential interference, and code requirements. Separating these systems into separate conduits is the best practice to ensure the safe and reliable operation of both systems.